What do you guys think about our boy Don Cheadle showing up in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I think that's sweet. War Machine's like one of my favorite Marvel characters, so
Do you
more
feel
War
like he's
Machine,
underused?
no
Because I don't feel
problems.
like he's underused, but I feel like we could just use more of him.
Yeah, I think
You know what I
more
mean?
screen time, not a
Yeah,
bad thing.
I think underused is a good evaluate. I mean,
yeah.
he was in. God,
He's
I'm
been
trying
in
to think. He
so
was in
many movies.
Endgame. Yeah, but his roles, like
Yeah,
even
they're always
I guess
small.
he was pretty central to Civil War. He wasn't as big of a key
Yeah,
player in Civil War as Bucky was, but his vision knocking him out of the sky and crippling him was a huge turn in that movie. So, he played a major part in that. But I do think he's, I mean, especially since the Iron Man movies ended, he's been sort of, I would say he's been underutilized.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that is true.
they've had so much going on. Like the
True.
MCU is pretty overcrowded in a lot of ways. So it's like if he doesn't have really, if like any character doesn't have their own movie, you could argue everyone's underused in some way, like,
Sure.
But,
Well,
yeah,
and
I don't know, like, yeah.
with Tony being gone now, I mean, he kind of fills that
He does.
armored, you know, metallic.
The Iron
I don't
Man
know.
void.
Well, I'm trying the Iron Man. I was trying to say Iron Man without saying Iron Man. I guess I should just
Right.
say Iron. He fills that Iron Man slot on the team, um, but kind of in a different way. He plays. To go to kind of RPG. He plays a tank kind of role now for them. Like
Yeah.
he's heavy damage. He can take some damage himself. I also think it's very interesting that they're bringing. I mean, Cap and Iron Man were kind of the as a dichotomy of the first 10 years of the Marvel universe. And now that they're both gone, it's interesting that the first, Captain America centric show that comes out, or Captain America centric thing that comes out, obviously with the connection to Bucky and Sam, that they're going to bring an Iron Man character into it, which I think is perfectly. It's probably a smart idea or a smart story point on their part. I like seeing them keep those two. If this was Game of Thrones, I'd say keep those two families connected. So
Yeah, and plus too, like, in Infinity War, Don Cheadle and, Anthony Mackie's, War Machine and Falcon characters, they had a lot of, like, interplay between each other during, like, the
yeah,
Wakanda invasion scene and everything. So and they were working tandem, as the two flight-based characters there holding the front line. So, like, and they just had a lot of character interplay. So, and then they obviously had that scene in Civil War that caused him to plummet. Like that was him chasing,
that's
Falcon
right.
in that scene and everything. So they alone have their own, history and everything. So like I could see him coming in for support for the Falcon character in some way, especially now that Falcon is in some way picking up that Captain America mantle, which has always been loosely connected to the government, military official in some way, and War Machine has always been a servant of the government,
Mhm.
the American government. So yeah, we should see. I think it's interesting. Isn't he getting his own? Didn't they say that he's getting his own show, or was that an animated thing? For
War
that, like,
Machine?
War Machines, or remember
Oh,
for
that's
Disney
part of the
Plus?
what I think that's part of the What If series. I think there's going to be an episode that focuses on Armor Wars.
Yeah, yeah, Armor
Um,
Wars, that's what it was. Yeah,
yeah. I think it was part of What If.
I remember them announcing it. I don't know if there was really any, like, super intense details about it. I thought it said that it was, like, a War Machine show, but I couldn't remember if it was gonna be
Now that
animated
you're
or
saying
not.
that, I have to look it up because they may have announced an Armor Wars.
They did.
Um,
I'm, like, 90% certain that's what it was called, because then they also announced, Ironheart, so it's
yeah,
like
no, you're right. You're exactly right. It's a show that's going to be on Disney Plus. It's
yeah,
Armor Wars.
yeah.
So yeah,
Which is gonna be I wonder if it's gonna have any tie-in, like, if it maybe it sets up his thing. It probably would, right?
sure,
Since this is coming out
sure.
first, it probably would at least serve to set up his arc for
It's
why
going
we're
to be
getting it.
interesting. My impression so far is that Disney Plus Disney and Marvel MCU, Marvel Studios is using their Marvel shows. I don't think they're using them same way. Like we're getting Mandalorian season 1 and 2 and hopefully 3 here. I don't know that we're going to get WandaVision season 2 or Falcon and Winter Soldier season 3. I feel like these are all going to be their own standalone miniseries, and you're just going to have successive miniseries all with their own, branding and different arcs. I don't know that we're going to get them in the traditional. We had WandaVision season 1, so we'll get WandaVision season 2. So
Yeah.
Armor Wars may pick up directly from where Falcon and Winter Soldier ends off and stops
Yeah.
off. That may be a pseudo season 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, depending on how much of a player War Machine is in that series.
Yeah, and then they could like kind of bounce back and forth between the two.
Yeah,
Kind of like the Mandalorian's doing.
We didn't mention how much he's actually going to be in the show. It just says he's guest starring.
Yeah.
So
That's why I was leaning towards the kind of makes an appearance, vaguely sets up what he's going to be doing for his own show.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Because if it's going to be quick, probably not much he'll do to help them out in whatever they're doing. But it could kind of be like, well, this is what he's up to, and that's what the show is going to be about. And he could serve his little purpose for helping them out for whatever they need, and then boom. But I was under the same impression as you with... And this kind of like with the information we were beginning is these seemed like they were all going to be kind of one-off things until that article came out about the Loki, the showrunner for Loki writing the Star Wars movie for Kevin Feige. In that article, it said that there was going to be a Loki season 2.
You're right. I forgot about that. Yep.
That could have just been a misphrase in the article. Like, who knows? Because it's not like that came straight from Kevin Feige or anything, but I don't know, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to get a season 2 by all means. Because it looks on all counts that WandaVision is leading into. We know it's going into the Spider-Man 3 and then Doctor Strange 2 arc. So presumably, that's all going to be wrapped up. Maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see. It's all up in the air, and like all things though, money talks. So if this Falcon and Winter Soldier thing is a massive hit for them, they'll obviously make more if they can. Why would they not?